Well, hello there. It's Breeda Miller here, 10 at 10. Time to take a break with Breeda, and I'm so delighted that you're here this morning. It's Wednesday. The sun is out, the rain has stopped, and it's going to be near 60 today. So I'm really happy about that. So I have a couple of ideas to share with you this morning. I'm thinking I should get, the signs, the yellow banners that you see under construction, the yellow and black. I'm thinking of getting one of those and just wear it as a set, right? Because aren't we all under construction? We're all a work in progress. Oh, I forgot to have a little bit of lipstick here. Excuse me. While I do my morning getting ready. Oh, so much better. A little bit of color is always a good thing in the morning. So anyway, under construction, Breeda TV, moving forward every day. It's amazing what a little hair color can do to inspire confidence and to get things on track. So I ordered some tech things. I just want to keep you up to date with some things. I ordered a green screen so that if I want to have some cool backgrounds. I'm doing a lot of Zoom and a lot of training and some corporate things, and it's just nice to have that as an option. So I'm happy about that, and a little camera, so that's all good. But I do have something really important that I've been thinking about and that I think is worth sharing today, and it's what I think of as the 4 R's. It's really 3, but I'm going with 4 in full disclosure. This is about dealing with behaviors of other people. And whether it is just normal parenting stuff, working with difficult colleagues, or, the real serious business of caring for a person with Alzheimer's disease or dementia. They all connect and they all work. The first R is to recognize. Recognize what's going on. If someone is being irrational or lashing out at you. Oh, and this also helps for crazy Facebook posts. Just saying. I had 2 of them this morning that I looked at, and I feel like I'm getting vertigo from shaking my head so much. Anyway, so recognize this behavior and think, is this the person's normal state? Is this how they always are? And I'm going to speak to caregiving and about someone with dementia, whether it's Alzheimer's or, dementia is like an umbrella term. It's like the big gray cloud, a lot of stuff going on as people's brains react or deteriorate or have different situations. Alzheimer's is just one of them. There are a lot of different kinds of dementia. So Alzheimer's is a dementia. Not all dementia is Alzheimer's, okay? And urinary tract infections can cause a lot of wacko behavior too. And that's a temporary thing that can be fixed with an antibiotic. So don't mess around with that. If it's amazing how many people think they have Alzheimer's or dementia when really the person they're caring for or they have a urinary tract infection. Anyway, recognizing. So if someone is really confused or wants to tell you what their reality is, just recognize that situation. It's all about them. It's not about you. And when you recognize it is about them, the best way to respond, the second R, is to respond proactively. And that other R word, and think about it, is respond versus react. So this goes to wacko Facebook posts. This goes to family members who are getting on your nerves. And this goes to caregiving. It's all about controlling yourself and realizing that you can't control other people, but you can control how you choose to respond. So do you respond, which to me means being thoughtful and thinking, okay, I've recognized the situation. Here are my choices. It's my best choice to get a good outcome, or react. And when I think about some, people say, oh, he had a knee-jerk reaction on that one. Jerk is part of that term. So when you react, you're going maybe from an instinctual place, or you are reacting in a way that may not be thoughtful. It may just be your emotion that's getting the best of you. You can't always control that, and you can't beat yourself up when you do. But if you can try to find a way to choose to respond to challenging situations. So here's one of them, and it's a little bit controversial, but it works. Have you heard of therapeutic fibbing? Now, when you're caring for a person with dementia, therapeutic fibbing is your ticket. It's about stepping into their reality, acknowledging it, accepting it, having a little conversation, and then finding a way to move them into a safer spot or move them into another place. Therapeutic fibbing, people have said to me, oh, but Breeda, I can't lie to my mother. I can't, tell her, I can't lie to her. I have to tell her the truth. She's my mom, and I would never lie to her. That's being disrespectful. Well, if you're lying to your mom because you want to manipulate her or hurt her or do something that is not in her best interest, you're right. That's a bad thing to do, and you don't ever want to do that. But if you are lying to your mom, or fibbing to your mom, as I prefer, a little gentler term, because you know that telling her again that her husband has died, and she's going to get a fresh wound to her heart, and she's going to grieve again, but you're telling her the truth, that's not kind. That's not helpful, because the likelihood is in 5 minutes or 15 minutes, she's going to ask you again about the very same thing. And if you tell her again, because you need to be truthful, you need to be honest with her and set her straight, it's not good, and it's not kind, and it's not based, it isn't going to end well. So I've had this experience, and when my mother-in-law was present when my father-in-law passed away, it's such a hard time, such a sad time, and her dementia, her Alzheimer's was pretty far along the road. She was aware that he died. No one withheld this information. She was present at his funeral, but in the following months, she didn't remember, and she would ask about him frequently. And so we had to find graceful ways to say different things. And some of them, and we tried lots of different things, some of them were when she would ask about Chuck, we would just say, oh, what a handsome man. How did you meet him? Or we would say things just like, he's gone out. And she'd be, oh, okay. Or he's at work. Or he's out in the barn. And those kinds of things were reasonable, and she was just worried that she hadn't seen him in a bit. And then like 5 minutes later, she'd ask again because she forgot what we had told her. But the point was, we did not go down that road of telling her the truth that he was in fact deceased. So when you think about that, it is about your choice to respond rather than react. And then the last R that I think about, and I'm thinking about this time of social isolation, and how we are responding and reacting to all of the challenges that come before us, is regrets. When I take an action or I do a thing, I try to stop and think, am I going to regret this? And that's an important thing. But when it comes to caring for our loved ones, comes to being a good colleague, a good partner, if we treat people with dignity and with respect, and we try to be considerate of their needs and where they're at, the likelihood is we're not going to have regrets. I sure wish there were days that I had done things differently with my mom when I was her caregiver. I wish I had had more patience. I wish I had been more resourceful about things. I think we all do that. But for the majority of the time, I feel really good. And I'm grateful that I had the time to care for my mom. And I don't have many regrets. I do have a few. I do. And I'm working hard to let them go, because and regrets are really not productive and positive ways to spend our time and our energy. So that's what I'm just thinking about today. There's just an awful lot of stuff coming at us. And if you have that additional responsibility of being a caregiver for someone, think about those R's. How can you recognize the behavior? Can you choose to respond in a constructive or positive way? And those times that you do react to them, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And ultimately, when you're able to be proactive and respond in a positive, loving way, you won't have regrets. And that's really one of the best things that we can hope for. So take care of yourself. Make it a wonderful day if you're able. Maybe you can get outside and get a little bit of sun on your face, a little bit of vitamin D, but don't forget your sunscreen. Anyway, I'm back under construction today, working on different projects and different things. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. This has been Breeda Miller, taking a break with you this morning, 10 at 10. Hope to see you again. Take care.